Good afternoon. I'm Daniel.
I'm Johnny.
And we're the co-founders of My First Years. We are the trusted destination for personalised children's gifts, crafted with love, helping to create wow moments for loved ones. So, the trusted. We need to be trusted in everything we do, from the product safety to the delivery being on time to the name being spelt correctly. The destination. We need to be that go-to place whenever there's a baby or children's gift, and everything personalised. Children's gifts crafted with love. We're not just a name slapped onto a product. We craft. We've got our personalisation techniques which are really unique onto a beautiful product. And we help to create wow moments. Everything we do must be wow. From when we speak to a customer, to the delivery, to the product. Everything is wow. And for loved ones. So it's for someone you love, that's someone very special. So, how it began. So, I've known Johnny since we were 4 years old. We were at primary school together, secondary school. I even went to Leeds University and he still followed me up there. We did business studies course together, where during the course, business studies, we had a dissertation on baby gifting market, which was completely random. And we went into it and we realized there that there was 800,000 babies born each year in the UK. They're each given 12 gifts on average. So we were like, 10 million purchases just on the newborn market. We have to get into it. So we then started looking at it. We were buying Nike ID personalized trainers. We were putting our initials on our shoes. And at the same time, we had a family member to buy a gift for. And we just thought there was nothing out there. There wasn't that personalization baby and children's brand. What was out there and what did exist at the time, there were the department stores where no one was focusing on personalization. There was a few mum and pop type retailers embroidering, sewing blankets from their kitchen tables. And there was one or two personalization retailers who were outsourcing everything. And they weren't really in the baby and children's market. So we really wanted to become that specialist. So we thought about our unique selling points, which are still the same now, which are our luxury complimentary gift box with every order, free personalization with every order, the option for next day delivery, and our quality of our products. So the journey so far. So we actually had the idea in the recession because we looked at it, and at university when we were looking at it, it was the one market that everyone stopped spying on themselves, but they put more into the kids. So we thought, let's go for it. So we launched in October 2010. And then we launched myfirstyears.com. And then we were looking at it and we thought we needed to link up with a retailer who had a bigger marketing spend than us to help us grow quicker. So we launched with Not on the High Street in July 2011. At the time, it was two men in a embroidery machine in a tiny office. And we thought to grow this and to keep up with the demand, we had to move to a fulfillment center. So we moved to Northampton, which is really central for couriers, and our advisors sent us up there, which was a great move for us. From the beginning, we were gifting every celebrity that had a baby, from turning up to the X Factor with a blanket for Danny Minogue saying, "Mummy's got the X Factor," to going to Heart Radio, giving Elton John a gift, to turning up at Downing Street saying we were a family friend of the Camerons. And I forgot to put Johnny's name on the list, so he was waiting with all the tourists as I drove in. But every celebrity, every bit of press took us up to the next level. And then linked with that, we launched with John Lewis and we launched with Selfridges then in October 2013. Now, in between Not on the High Street and Selfridges, one of the biggest things we did was we sent the Beckhams a letter asking Harper Beckham to be the face of My First Years for an undisclosed fee. We were way into overdraft at the time. We didn't have any money or intentions of her becoming the face of My First Years, but we sent it to the press, which got us onto Sky News, E! News, and eventually a spokesperson from Victoria Beckham came back saying she's too young for a modelling contract. But it did what we wanted, and the sales kept rising, which was great. So at that point, we launched this automated text recognition system. Basically, to scale up in personalization, we really needed to automate the process. as opposed to in every other company, someone is typing in a name. If they put Daniel on a teddy bear or on a product, they have to go and get that product, type in Daniel, there could be human error, and it takes time. It's very labor intensive. So we actually automated the process, which Johnny's going to go a bit further into. And then last year, so April 2016, our PR efforts really paid off when we couldn't believe what we saw when we went on the Daily Mail website and we saw a photo of Prince George meeting President Obama with wearing a My First Year's dressing gown with his name, George, on it. So it was a Thursday night and we got the troops together on the weekend because we saw in that photo he was also wearing pajamas and slippers, but we had to make sure it was only the robe that was talked about, the dressing gown. So we did that. We had over 1,600 articles written about the robe and the story worldwide, and even Obama mentioned the dressing gown in his last speech, which was brilliant. So then we launched last year, at the end of last year in Harrods, in a concession on the 4th floor, so you can get your items personalised there and then. In Harrods, takes about 20 minutes, same as Selfridges. And then this year we've launched actually with Next, so Next online, which is really, really good for the brand actually. So it's about 6 weeks ago and sales are going really, really well so far. And then in May of this year, we had a soft launch of the website in the US. So we're still sending the orders from Northampton, but we've launched the website in the US.
Cool. So over the years, as you saw on the last slide, the sales obviously were soaring. This year, we're going for about kind of 9.5, 10 million in sales. And through that, our gross margin has obviously been a key thing that we want to keep growing. You can see back in 2014, it was quite low, 27%, and it goes to 43% this year. And we're on track, and we're going for 50% gross margin in the next year or two. It sounds low, but in personalization, that's obviously a big factor because it's very labor intensive to do this. As our sales grow as well in the website, which is now 80% of our sales, that's been the dominant force and driving the gross margin because the retailer sales, you have to pay all the commissions and all the costs to that. As I mentioned earlier, Dan brought up the tech system we built. So this, I'll go into more detail about it after, but basically better production and automating things has really driven our direct costs down massively, and also product sourcing. So sourcing better economies of scale, and also charging the right price for our product. We've got a really good quality, and our proposition to the competition in the market is very good. So just tweaking the prices better, all of these things have risen our gross margin. So the funding so far, I'll go for the start. 2010 when we launched, it was Dan and I, we put our own cash into it. We put enough in literally to buy a machine and a basic website. Sales started to grow really, really quick, and in 2011 we had to get an intern on board. She was basically, she came on, we took her through all the meetings with John Lewis and all the retailers we were trying to get into at the time, and then she was at a summer garden party of her uncle, and he loved the sound of the business and wanted to meet us. So we go to this guy's house, more like a mansion, but he goes to this guy's house, and it was Lord David Alliance, and he took a liking to us, and within about 20 minutes we struck up a deal. And he was invested. And that was really the seed round that really got us the real traction to go for it. So sales started to go big. 2013 to 15, we had to raise more and more money. So actually through Lord Alliance's network, we met a range of private high net worths. We raised about £2 million of private money through that period. And then as we came into 2016, sales were getting, still strong, and the website was still, 100% year on year. And we actually, really started to focus on profit and, easing the cash burn, and it was good. We had some good profitable months, and that's when we thought, let's also look for institutional funding. We need a big ticket money, professional money, and that's when December 30th, 2016, we struck a deal with J, ProVen VCT, and another VCT joined in the round, and that was imperative for us to scale to the next stage. The key of it really is that money is gone already into expanding the production. We put a lot of money into technology, that tech system I brought up earlier, making that even faster and better. We launched in the US, as Dan mentioned before, and it's a soft launch, but it's given us the runway and traction to go for it. And then we're going to trial new marketing channels, which we'll go into later. And J have been great. They sit on our board. They've given us really good retailer introductions. US expansion advice has been key with their US contacts. And really just kind of all-round advice to scale the business has been the big piece there. Okay. So the website, as I mentioned earlier, 80% of our sales come through this. So this is huge to us. At the moment, as shown on the iPad screen, it's a well-functional, well-designed, and it converts well website, mobile-friendly, and it's got a range of personalization features, which is obviously key, being personalization. But those features have been there since inception. So to support this and develop it over the years, we've built our own in-house tech team. So we have UX developers, front-end developers, ERP developers, and they work from the UK, and then we have an overflow in Poland and Ukraine. But part of the process and with the investment, of course, this year and next year, we're building our new website. It's going to be much more faster and efficient. It's going to have loads of key features, really mobile-focused, one-click experience, and on all the products, we're going to have personalization preview, so the customer can see what it's really going to look like before, and that links to our production system. So you've got that kind of assurance of that's actually how it's going to really be produced. And also through the tech developments, we launched an app. This was a bit of fun that came about where we have all these orders coming through with personalization. We know all the latest, most popular baby names. Partners or husband and wife, when they go through pregnancy through 9 and 10 months, it's a massive debate what you're going to call your kid. So it goes on for ages, and this app enables them to see what are the popular trending names, and then, as shown on the screen with Ashley, you can see how the product will look on clothing, and therefore you can create the nursery. You get the gist. So the idea is, obviously, it was a really cheap built app. The idea was that's all it does, but then if they want to shop the website, it links to the mobile site, and they go on and convert. We haven't done any marketing to this. We literally just created it to see what happens if people search the App Store for the brand, and it's getting users. It's working. So that, along with the fact that coming close to half our business is now repeat business, and the customers obviously all mobile first these days. We're looking at part of the new website development as potentially building an app. So the e-commerce app will be obviously a much more streamlined process to order on mobile, but somehow integrating that with the baby name app and making that even more seamless than it already is. And the whole purpose is increase the customer propensity to buy. The production and technology. So the key thing to mention about our production is we have it all in-house, and the production, we have a head of operations who manages the production generally, but we also have a head of production innovations, and therefore it's a tech focus in everything we do in production. We operate in 20,000 square foot now, and that's still growing. And there's a big piece around how we automate the name onto the product, as you see here. Essentially, the way it works is the website, you put in the name, you set your font, your color, whatever variables, and that goes straight into an engrave or embroidery, or if you do laser engraving format, straight to the machine. Literally, the operator scans a packing slip, it drives it into the machine. The massive edge there is you have massive scalability, accuracy, and it gives us a huge edge over other personalization companies throughout. And of course, labor saving dramatically occurs. And also the other thing here is all of this is in-house. I reiterate that we don't outsource anything we do. And the beauty is it gives us full control. When you're buying that gift, you want everything to arrive together, and that is key. We've also now built as well an R&D team under the head of production innovations person. There are going to be a range of future developments around this. Obviously increased capacity, which we've already done some, but we're going to do more. And we're going to launch new personalization techniques, so embossing, which is quite an old school technique, but we've got an automated way of doing that. 3D printing and somehow getting that on brand though. And we're also launching production to have videos and photography, and then we're going to use that within the website and the customer journey experience somehow. Maybe with your order is on its way and there's a picture of the gift, because a lot of these gifts are obviously going direct to the person. You want the assurance that this gift looks perfect before it goes. So these are all the kind of the tech developments that are being done within production.
The future. So we realized very early on that to succeed, we needed to bring on people that were cleverer than us in different areas. So we also needed our time to grow to the next level. We've brought in recently, over the last few months, a senior leadership team. So Johnny and I, we look after 3 departments each. So I oversee marketing, buying, and commercial. Johnny oversees operations, tech, and finance. And as I said, this will help us really take it to the next level next year. Marketing. So we've brought on a marketing director in September, and she's just been there literally just about 5 weeks now, and we're really planning next year. But we've managed to actually get in a new scalable channel, which is hopefully going to be in our plans next year, which is TV. So I'll come back to TV. We've got our existing channels, which we're optimizing. We've been doing the same marketing as we've been doing for 6 years. So the PR, SEO, PPC, and really now looking to get to that next scalable channel, because we know we're still a tiny percentage of the market share. TV we're launching a Christmas TV campaign on November the 12th. So it's all about the magic of Christmas meets the magic of personalization. And the parents have spent so long thinking about that name that My First Years really gives it the stamp of approval in a way. And that's what the TV advert's going to be about. And as I said, launching on the 12th of November, so look out for that. And then the product, so we brought on a head of buying a couple of months ago, and we're really looking to expand the width of categories that we offer. So at the moment on the website, it's all on one site. So whether you're buying for a newborn or whether you're buying for a 4-year-old child, it's all on the same site. Now, it's going to be on the same site, but we're splitting it between, so baby, toddler, and kids. Just so it's easier, we can't have a newborn photo selling a 5-year-old child's product. So we're looking to separate that, which should increase the categories there. Delivery, our delivery proposition. So we've had a conversation recently. How do we enhance the barriers of entry, and how do we disrupt personalization? And we've looked at it. So there's 2 parts of delivery. First of all, it's aligning ourselves with the best courier, that the customer's going to get the best service. And we are almost there. We've got good couriers, but we want to turn good into wow. And that's something that we would look to launch Jan-Feb of 2018. And the other thing is, at the moment, our production, because we've automated it, we've really worked hard on being able to get orders out the same day as they come in. So we're actually looking at a way where it could be next day delivery on every order. So whether it's a standard, next day, whenever someone needs it, just wow them and do it, get it to them for next day. And then our retail channels. So Selfridges, we're in Selfridges Oxford Street, but next year we're looking at launching Manchester in January, and then the other stores, and then online with Selfridges. Harrods, we're looking to launch on their website. John Lewis, we're online and we're looking to go into their stores. And next, we're online and going into a flagship store in Manchester at some point next year. And then one thing we'd really like to do is actually introduce a My First Year's flagship store. So we really wanted to create that experience of the website into a real life experience in a store, and really have it interacting with customers, social media, and we're just looking into that at the moment. So that's part of our plans, potentially towards the end of next year. And then it's the US, which is, so at the moment we've been sending orders from Northampton to the US, but because of our speed and automation, we can actually get an order to a customer in the US 3 days quicker than basically most companies can if you order from the US sending to the US. So we've got a real unique edge there, and there's certain products that we do and techniques that really put us ahead of the game. So it's just about the marketing, and we're looking into clever ways that we can get out there. But be rest assured, we're not stopping with our PR. We turned up to, well, we had a good lead to Beyonce's house, and we turned up pretending to be the UPS courier driver, and we gifted Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that went down really, really well. And we got some great press off the back of that. They've become fans of the brand and bumping into Kardashian's mum, and that won't stop. So the marketing is a huge part of the US plans for us. Anyway, so the last slide was to say thank you very much for listening, and we welcome any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks very much. Terrific I love the guerrilla marketing. Fantastic. I think you've got a stand outside, so I'm actually going to cut short the question, if you don't mind, because we're running a bit tight on time. Please visit the stand and don't forget the wonderful discount. Thanks again, guys.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, thanks.